Hello, everyone here in YouTube. When you get here, welcome. My name is Laura J. I am an empowerment coach with an alternative approach, which means that I help people come home to themselves, understanding who they are at soul level so they can bring more of who and whose they are into the present moment as a marriage of the divine masculine and feminine that each of us are ultimately going through this life in order to embrace and embody at a deeper level, which is the sacred sojourn of the soul that each of us are on. I have been working on a book for 3 years about the transformation of self image from a soulful perspective, and it's finally coming closer to being ready. And in that process, too, I've kind of let go of the reins a lot over the time it took for me to be ready to be here now and just simply say, hey, how I thought things would go was not how things actually went, and once I liberated myself from the expectations I had before I'd started, I was finally able to realize that one of the things I've been doing the entire time I've been working on this book and everything else too was actually going through the process of becoming who I was wanting to have come save me. And in that process, I learned how to create a home center that I could reach that allows me to feel inner peace when I am feeling very much of the unrest on the outside world that we share. Now, I have had people message me saying, "When are you going live? When are you going live?" Because I just go live impromptu when it feels right. Spontaneity is very much one of my traits. And I can also very much maintain and honor any scheduled appointments too. But when it comes to being in the flow, I just oftentimes go when I feel called. And that isn't necessarily convenient for other people to be able to jump in on. But at the same time, it's real and it's raw and it's the way that I roll. And I would encourage you to really find what works for you too, and to know that everything happens at the perfect time. Everything that you're working on, no matter how much delay went into bringing you to this now moment, for you to then choose to fully commit to finishing that project, ultimately was required. And so thank all of it, and then release yourself from keeping yourself bound to any of it too. Because ultimately, as we let ourselves go and free ourselves from the past, not now moments of our history, then we actually get to step into the story that we are creating with our lives. I hope that you will tune in for what is to come on this channel, because I am about to introduce you to some of the best thinkers that I have come across in my journey. And I have traveled around the world and been connected to high-level leaders from all around the world too, because I chose to get myself in the room with people that had different thoughts, bigger thoughts than what I did at the time. So they stretched me and expanded my awareness. And because of that, I'm able to share a different perspective with the people that I come into contact with. And the fact that you're here means that you are playing with the ideas that I am selling, as we are all doing. And I want more than anything for us to become conscious consumers of the information that we're being sold, to realize that we have to be intentional about what we're willing to passively accept, what we reject, and then what we neglect. Because if we are not willing to decide what we're going to buy, people can sell us anything, and choose your poison is a very real thing. Are you going to go with medication? Are you going to go with some kind of plant medicine? Are you going to go with some kind of alcohol or thing to keep us out of the present moment where all of our power exists? The other thing is our power exists with other people. And if we are being kept away from other people, we don't have the ability to congeal our power into one spot, to create an explosion of potential that comes from connection. Now, my spontaneity doesn't really help with that, because if I just do it when I feel called, those who are able to join live do, and everyone else, you tune in later, and that's cool too. But ultimately, if I were able to put myself down on the schedule and say, I'll show up and I'll do what is required in that moment with somebody else to keep me accountable and to make it fun, and so that there is more than one to bounce ideas off of, it's a more pleasurable experience for everyone. So that is what I'm going to do. But I'm still going to go live as and when I feel inclined, because you deserve it and you're worth it. Because I couldn't imagine a better way to spend my day than to come in and just play with you for a few minutes. And this has been 5.5, so that's enough. I hope that you got some value from this. I would love for you to share this message with somebody else you feel would resonate with me and my message, to be able to get exposed to other leaders of this new world that we are creating now. I'd love for you to comment, whether you do it now while we're on live or after the fact. All of it is technically happening now, because that's the only moment we have, and that is more than enough. Enough is as good as a feast, and it is time for us to really come back to that fact. And if you would also like to like this video, just to show Facebook and YouTube and all of the social media algorithms that this is good shit, then I would appreciate that too. And sometimes, yes, I do swear, simply because I feel like it's blasphemous to try to say to kids, oh, don't do that, except for we do as adults, and simply say, you can't yet. Until then, they're saying it behind our backs and then are old enough to say it to our face. Why not just say, hey, swearing is a normal part of the life that we lead and grow up into, and yet we need to also be respectful of the things that we say, the way that we say them, and who we say them to. I'm going to just turn this around and say, hey, Papa, say hello to the world. What? Say hello to the world. This is my beloved Papa Bob, guys. This is one of my favorite men in the whole wide world. Papa? There you are. John Robert Hamilton. Papa Bob. That's my man. So, guys, you got to just go with what comes, and you've got to be willing to accept the ones that do things a bit differently, like he does with me. Because ultimately, each of us have a different flair and flavor that we put into the soup of life, and ultimately, all of it makes it better if it's done from a place of well-intention, good heart, willingness to help other people and to connect, and simply respect what someone else is doing without letting them sidetrack your day. Because like he went away off to do his own thing, you too get to do the same, as do I, because we're all independents within this world. It's just, if we don't learn to stand for something, then we will fall for anything, and our world truly cannot afford for us to do that now, which is why it's so important for us to become conscious consumers. So important for us to consciously consume the information that we're being sold, and then to say, hey, what does this mean to me? What does this mean for me? And what am I going to do with it? Look forward to hearing what you're going to do with this message, who you're going to share it with, and why. I have some more opportunities coming that I can't wait to share with you, including those interviews, but also so much more. I've been marinating on all of this for so long that I feel like the frog that's been fully cooked, except I've still got enough of my own brain power left to say, look, before we're truly cooked, we've got to connect and really learn about what's going on from an alternative perspective, not because it is the truth, but simply because where there is only one path, generally speaking, it's a trap, guys. There's always more than one way to get to someplace. We just have to be willing to find those alternative paths and then blaze them ourselves, because no one can see our vision until we bring it into reality. We are the ones that see it here, and then when it is here, that is the second time. So I hope that you will continue to brew the visions inside that then get expressed in the world that we share. I hope you'll share this with somebody else that needs to know they're not alone during these times when social isolation should be tipping you off to the fact it's more than just about physical isolating. It is about keeping us afraid of each other, because that is where the power lies. And if we realize that the power lies in our togetherness, then we can truly embrace our differences and realize that there is more that is similar in us than what is different, but we notice those differences because we don't have cells of familiarity to make us feel safe with those until we do. And now we do have that opportunity. So I hope that you will connect, join a community on Facebook if you are there on that platform too. It's called A Space Where Misfits Fit, Home for Soulful Seekers, and join in the conversation. I can't wait to share more about what it means to be a peaceful inner warrior and to develop a special practice that honors our whole selves rather than just a part of it, because we are multidimensional beings having a human experience in this 3D world that is moving into a 5D state. We have to understand that there is 5G technology being introduced here too, which has a big impact on the health of our systems internally and the one that we share too. So there's so much that if we don't look underneath of the curtain, we'll just believe what they're saying about what's happening behind the scenes. And we can't really afford that any longer, my friends. And that's also not to say we need to go into fear about any of this. But it is to say that we have to begin consciously consuming what is happening. And I hope that you will be willing to do that. Share this message, like it, and subscribe to my channel so that you are notified the next time I go live. And I'll also be sharing the schedule for some of the upcoming interviews I've got. And you'll also on Facebook be able to see the one that I already did with Adam Fielding yesterday. Very powerful, switched on dude, poet who knows it and is rocking the world by being the change he seeks. And I hope that you will be too, as I am trying to also. So much love, many blessings, and cannot wait to come to you again live. Share what's going on with you, any questions that you got. Look forward to diving into those soon. Ciao for now. Have a good one.